The notion that scientists fabricate lies about the environment to control Christians is a claim that has been circulating in certain circles, particularly among some conservative and religious groups. This idea suggests that environmental scientists and researchers are somehow manipulating data and information to deceive the public, particularly Christians, into adopting certain ideologies or behaviors. However, this claim is not only unfounded but also misleading and detrimental to the ongoing efforts to address environmental issues. To begin with, the scientific community is built on the principles of objectivity, rigor, and transparency. Scientists are trained to collect and analyze data, develop hypotheses, and test theories through empirical evidence. The environmental science field, in particular, relies on a vast array of data from various sources, including satellite imagery, sensor networks, and field observations. This data is then subjected to peer review, a process where other experts in the field scrutinize the research to ensure its validity and accuracy. It is implausible to suggest that a vast network of scientists, spanning across the globe, could collude to fabricate lies about the environment. The sheer scale of environmental research, involving thousands of scientists from diverse backgrounds and disciplines, makes it nearly impossible to coordinate such a massive deception. Moreover, the scientific community is not a monolithic entity, and scientists are not hesitant to challenge and debate each other's findings. This process of critique and revision is essential to the advancement of scientific knowledge. Furthermore, the idea that scientists are targeting Christians, in particular, is unfounded. Environmental issues such as climate change, conservation, and pollution affect people of all faiths and backgrounds. The scientific community's primary goal is to understand and address these issues, not to manipulate or control specific groups. In fact, many Christians are actively engaged in environmental stewardship, recognizing the biblical mandate to care for God's creation. It is also worth noting that the claim of scientists making up lies about the environment is often based on misinformation and misinterpretation of scientific data. For instance, climate change skeptics may point to minor fluctuations in temperature or weather patterns as evidence that global warming is not occurring. However, these short-term variations do not negate the overwhelming evidence of long-term climate trends, which show a clear and consistent warming pattern over the past century. In addition, the assertion that scientists are trying to control Christians through environmental lies is a form of conspiracy theory. This type of thinking can be detrimental to constructive dialogue and cooperation between different groups. By fostering mistrust and suspicion, such claims can undermine the efforts of scientists, policymakers, and community leaders who are working together to address environmental challenges. In conclusion, the notion that scientists fabricate lies about the environment to control Christians is a baseless and misleading claim. The scientific community operates on the principles of objectivity, rigor, and transparency, and the environmental science field relies on a vast array of data and evidence. The idea that scientists are targeting Christians, in particular, is unfounded, and the claim of environmental lies is often based on misinformation and misinterpretation of scientific data. Rather than perpetuating conspiracy theories, we should engage in constructive dialogue and cooperation to address the pressing environmental issues that affect us all. By working together, we can build a more sustainable and equitable future for generations to come.